luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Loren Gailey, and we are pleased to be here with the soul healer, the holistic soul healer. Today we are talking about how to live a life you love. And we are here to talk more with a spiritual healer, Reiki master, and angel reader. Ruth Kramer is here with us on her first visit to Quantum Conversations. Hello, Ruth. Welcome. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm fabulous. If I could be any better, there'd have to be two of me.
Beautiful. You are greeting us from the beautiful Lemurian island of Maui, bringing the water energies with us, the Lemurian energies, wow, and also the dolphin and manta ray energies today.
Yes, we actually swam with a baby manta ray today, and that's still fairly rare. He was fast and tiny and gorgeous and spotty, and then there was dolphins literally leaping in fairly shallow waters, which is extraordinarily unusual.
Amazing. Well, they were giving you a gift, and I'm sure you'll just hang with that and be with that. More will be revealed, right? Yes.
Yes, of course. Always, right? We hope.
Yes. Well, it's just so beautiful. And we're feeling that energy. On our call today, we just simply need to tune into it. We're gonna take some callers with our audience today. You're gonna interact with our audience. But we wanted to chat with you about your story. Yours is a story of almost a dark night of the soul. In fact, I would call it a dark night of the soul, the awakening process for you. You found yourself in a different country from where you were born, alone with little support. But through that, you found your home, you found your tribe, and you opened up to your healing self and the great remembrance of this ability within you. Can you share a little bit of that catalytic story?
Yes, I'd love to. It's really funny, actually, that what happened, I did not set out to be a deliberate healer. I feel like an accidental healer, like an accidental tourist who just stumbles upon new lands and new territories, and maybe all of us do that to some degree. It wasn't an intentional seeking at that time. I was 30 years old, and I realized that my marriage was so unkind. It didn't love me. It didn't care for me. It showed up in a very selfish manner. And what happened for me is that in order to find me, I had to leave that which no longer served me. And the seeking of me took me straight into a massage school where I actually signed up for massage because I figured, I could go back into education and I could have people massage me twice a week, every week. Oh my goodness, that seems like a really good idea. So I didn't sign up to be a massage therapist and a healer, to be a massage therapist and a healer. My thought was, oh gosh, I get a free massage as part of my course twice a week. So I was so in need that the instructor and the owner of the school, when she said, does anyone want to receive twice? My hand was always up. It was always up. Yes, please. Get me, choose me, massage me. I I wasn't there to become this exquisite healer. I was there to just receive, because I showed up in need, because I was the beginning of a divorce with two very young children. And it was one of those harsh realities in the physical world. And it took me to healing. And the massage school was the beginning. And then the visions came, and then the remembrance of flying dreams as a child, of having this enormous heart, of being sensitive, of easily drawn to tears, of loving wholeheartedly. All of those understandings and realizations started to flood in. And then the psychic nature of me has continued to grow, even while my personal story took a long time to take the rocks out of my shoes, to be honest.
Yes. Yes. What an incredible journey, though. And so here you are a soul healer, and this is big. Share with us what it means to be a soul healer.
Okay, so yes, thank you for asking. I don't share my story very often, honestly, because I'm mostly hanging out in everybody else's story, and it's such a privilege to do so. So because I was willing to lay myself out for a spirit, I actually laid down and I laid out my life and said, my life is not worth enough on its own. So give me the opportunity to lay my life out for others. Let me be of service. Let my life be of use. Let it mean something. And so what happened was I had this real voice that came back to me from the universe that said, you know, Ruth, some people make their family their entire world. They center their whole world around their family, and that's beautiful. Other people get to center their world becomes their family. And I feel that you're the second one. And I said, oh, okay. So I took all the pressure off of having to make my family my world when it had fallen apart, and decided instead to seek out my family in the world. And what happened was, in that moment, in that instant moment, I got completely filled with light. The smaller Ruth's personality pretty much disappeared. And what showed up instead was this massive golden light-filled being that took my breath away through tears. I actually laid out sobbing and gave myself up completely and said, let me go. If I can't be of service, I don't want to be here. If I'm going to be here, I have to be of service, or I do not want to do this. And so I let go completely. It was a total surrender. And it was like a physical death and a spiritual birth. And in that moment, I changed. It changed me completely. I got up from that moment and felt totally different. And in that second, I started to notice that I could track energy. I could track it all the way up in clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient terms, with no limitations, no barriers. It was like having a universal way. And one of my requests was, let me see with the eyes of the universe. Let me feel with the heart of the universe. Let me speak with the voice of the universe, and let me love with the heart of the universe, and let me listen and hear with the ears of the universe, and nothing less will do. So I put that request in really strongly, and what came back was a tracking system. I felt like a universal dog that could track the energy all the way up, all the way down, all the way back, and all the way forward, and it became very useful. And that people could come to me really with anything that their soul needed, and the universe would respond through me as a conduit to help them to claim what they needed to help their soul's journey in that moment. So the reason why I called myself the soul healer, not that the soul necessarily needs healing, but the healing occurs when we can connect the disconnected to our soul and bring all our tracking systems in, so that our child self, our adult self, and our higher self can all stream the connection together and be in a triad partnership with the whole universe. And the work has been just breathtaking since those days, those early days where I still made mistakes. However, humanly I made mistakes, but spiritually there was no error. There was just learning opportunities to help others.
Learning opportunities. And your story is what we're all going through in our own unique ways as we return to what some call embodiment of the higher self, or I love your triad of the child, the adult, and the higher self. Mm-hmm. And we hear these stories of awakening. It truly is a surrender.
Yes.
And when you surrendered, that massive light-filled being came in. And that's what you do. So when you're working with people and you're tracking, are you getting out of the way and working with the other person's higher self? Can you tell us? Yeah.
So, God, great questions. Of course, you would have such beautiful questions. What a privilege to sit here in this space with you, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
The lower side of me totally gets out of the way. I will say that there's lots of times where through meditation or through a healing light, the child, the pure little me, shows up in a pair of overalls. She often wears a pair of overalls and bare feet, and she shows up and she's probably about 5 years old, and she's really cute and gorgeous and pure. Mm. And that pure-hearted little girl shows up and comes to the work as a curious child. So I'm still there somewhere. So when we talk about getting out of the way, any ego or personality or judgments or any of the adult stuff that shows up definitely moves aside. However, the playful child who loves wholeheartedly, she often shows up and skips along with the child within the other person, because when the children can play with the higher self, and the higher self can come in, my higher self and their higher self, and we can meet the universal connection, there's a really powerful bond that forges. And so we meet on levels that are so much more profound, deep, and loving than the adults that are often so busy trying to compete or be superior or inferior to each other. And the pure heart of a child just wants to play and come dance with the universal spirit and find out what the dance looks like today. And so that's where the work often goes. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be taking questions from our audience. So for those who would love to ask Ruth a question and have her help you with anything that you're going through, you can come on our webpage here at acoustichealth.com, join by webcast or phone. Star 2 will allow you to raise your hand and you can ask Ruth a question. But I want to talk about our topic today too. Here we are, how to live a life you love. It is interesting with what's going on in our world, and instead of looking at what seems to be things like freedoms being taken away, let's look at the opportunity. Let's always look at the silver lining, because we do see that there's opportunities. And we have said before that we are really, what's going on in our world is we're seeing areas in the collective that we're all a part of that certainly can use some help. And this is where we all can get wildly creative for New Earth. And that's what you do when you say live a life you love, because it really does begin there.
Yes.
Talk to us about how it was you were able to get yourself into a life that you love. And this could take us to how you ended up in Maui. I mean, that's a beautiful place, but it's something that you love, right? You love it.
Yes.
So, and this is all aspects.
Yes. Well, first I have to admit something. I used to have a saying, which I'm not terribly proud of now, but it was a truth for me at the time, which was, I love my work, I hate my life. And the reason why I could stand in that at that time, and that's so relatable for so many of us, that we might have aspects of our life we really love, but not necessarily a life that we love. So I loved my work. I always loved the work because it's the one area that I had agreed to step into a higher plane of consciousness. However, my personal life and my relationship life was really challenging, as it often is for so many of us in a human body. So I loved my work. I didn't necessarily love my life. I had to really bring my work home. I had to bring the focus home. I had to bring that which worked in one area. I had to then take it like peanut butter and spread it to all the other areas. I had to take it and spread it and take the focus that was working and bring it to the other areas that weren't working. And I really feel like that's part of the tool in the toolbox for all of us that we deserve to really focus on. Find out where it's working. What is it about that one area that works, and bring it to the areas that are not yet working, and decide that just because they're not yet working doesn't mean they don't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So at this point, I came to Maui because I visioned. So as a visionary with my clairvoyance, I see people's pathways laid out for them, and it's as clear to me what I see, whether I see spirits from their past or pathways for their future. It's as clear as my own mirror image in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth. It's just that clear. So clear that I've seen license plates on cars that have claimed understanding. I've seen weddings that are showing up with the actual wedding dress. I've seen somebody meeting a plumber when they haven't even got a boyfriend, and then they marry a plumber within a year. And I say it's within a year, and 2 weeks before the end of the year, they get married to their plumber. So I see things really clearly. That clarity has been growing, and I had trouble seeing my own future, my own path. I kept seeing a man, however, in my path, and he was beautiful. He had his back to me and had salt and pepper hair, and I knew that there was a great love for me, and it would be my third love and my third relationship, hopefully my third marriage. I keep dropping hints, but is not quite there yet. And I am now living in that partnership with my salt and pepper darling man in Maui, snorkeling and swimming every day, doing this great work, which I've loved for just about 30 years, and still being very young at heart, still being playful. I now can say honestly that I really love every aspect of my life. That doesn't mean there aren't challenges. That doesn't mean there aren't relationships I have to juggle with. That doesn't mean I have to check my bliss bubble and see if something belongs or if it needs to get, gently pushed out. I'm still checking, as we all do, with discernment, because we're in a body and it's called life. However, there are ways, I feel, to strategize and deliberately intend the life you want by deliberately calling in and creating it and taking the areas that work and spreading them to the areas that are not yet working.
Yes, okay. And you are a psychic. You are a psychic, really.
Yeah.
We were chatting before, and you said that you realized, when you went through this catalytic moment, right? This catalytic moment, this awakening moment, this finding your tribe, that you had realized that you'd been psychic all your life.
Yes.
And so it's because you can see that tracking system, right?
Yes.
It's all connected, your psychicness and seeing that tracking system.
Yes. The interesting thing is, the more I live, the more I realize how incredibly gifted and pretty psychic we all are. It's just a matter of, where are our senses the strongest? Do we sense things with our nose? Some people have a brilliant sense of smell. They can smell danger. They can smell spices cooking 2 streets over. Some people have senses where they can really see clearly. They get just really clear obvious vision. Some people hear things. Their sound is extraordinary, very sensitive to sound. And it's nice for us to know what our strengths are. And that doesn't mean the strengths have to stay only in one spot. And being psychic just means that there's extra sensory understanding and awareness. It just means that my ears go a little further with the hearing. The vision goes a little further with the seeing. It just means that there's no limits to the tracking system of the senses. And the only difference between someone really psychic and someone who doesn't feel they are is practice, practice, practice. It's a muscle. And if we go to the gym and we stretch our arms every day, we're going to have strong arms. If we work on our senses every day, our senses will grow and become much stronger.
Okay. So when you take some live callers, what kind of questions, how should someone pose a question to you? Because we may get people saying, what do you see for me? Or can you give me guidance on this? What's the best way for people to phrase their question?
If they ask me something direct that they really want to know, preferably about their life path, like, I'm having trouble with my relationship and here's my challenge and I'd like to meet it. Or I've got such success in this area and yet I can't meet the success in other areas. Or I'm brilliant at work and then at home it just falls apart. Or, to discuss or at least name where they're really finding success or where they're finding challenge. And the more specific they get, the more helpful I can be. That's really great. Yeah, I do generic readings, but that takes a lot more time to climb into someone's energy field and uncover it. And sometimes people ask me to jump, so we talk about their life and they say, oh, by the way, who's here from the other side? And it's like, oh, that's a different pathway. It's a different track. If I'm doing a life path, I'm moving forward and I'm on a life path, but it's like taking a car, driving it down a street to a direction and a destination. And then someone says, what happened back in my past? And it's like, oh, I've got to turn the car around. I've got to go back. That's a completely different direction. I can't do that all in one moment. And I don't know that people realize that if you're taking one direction, going left or right or north or south, you can't suddenly turn the car around, the vehicle of vision or clairvoyancy and turn it in a completely different direction because it takes time to do that.
Sure, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So if people have questions, if you've got questions for Ruth, please join us on our webpage at acoustichealth.com. You'll find today's show, and you can join by web call or the phone, the good old phone, and you can hit *2, and you can ask a question from Ruth. So, Ruth, before we go and get there, let's talk about, because I know that we did chat earlier, and it's all about, let's talk about the new earth that we're creating, along with the creating a world that we love. Can you share some of the ideas that you see coming about, or some areas that need work on that might stimulate some of our ideas?
Yes. Okay. Oh gosh, this is such a big subject. So I get really excited. So I'm going to try to be all clear and focused.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I want everybody to know that how we each interact and love ourselves and master our own field of energy is extraordinarily vital, particularly at this time. One of the reasons it's vital there's so many reasons, but one of the big reasons is we're in a massive time of awakening right now in the world, and all of us that are pretty awakened beings, and I believe all of us, there's like they say, there's a little witch in all of us. There's a little clairvoyant, psychic, knowing person in all of us, and it's that sweet, exquisite part of us. We deserve to awaken to our own awareness and to personal responsibility. That means there's no room anymore for victim. There's no room anymore for not taking responsibility for what we're creating in our field of energy and in our life. It's time for us to take responsibility for our part in the play and in the dance of life. If anyone's stepping on our toes, it's our job to move our feet. If anyone is getting in our way, it's our job to let them know what our truth is and to stand in our truth from the heart. If I tell you my truth and it's from my heart and you get offended, that's not my problem, providing I'm speaking it from my own truth and from my own heart and not in a blaming way. The more that we're honest and share our beautiful, unique selves with each other, the more that we start to create and generate collaboration on this earth plane. We are at a time where we must unify in order for the earth to get to that new plane of existence and awakening. And unity comes from first creating a unified field within ourselves. We can't keep telling stories of who did what to us when. Those stories don't matter. They never did. We didn't come here to live a bad story. We came here to live a self-mastery. So the stories of what went wrong don't matter. The only thing that matters is what did we grow from that point? Who did we become as a result of that? Did we create more compassion? Did we become more loving? Have we got more understanding? Who did we become as a result of whatever happened through us? Because nothing happened to us. If something happened to us, then we're playing the role of victim. And that doesn't serve anybody, actually. The story just gets to a dead end. It's like banging your head against a wall. Eventually you're going to have a bump on your head. So, yeah.
Personal responsibility. And that's good. I mean, for some who might be challenged with the way things are, moving into the love and compassion and looking at how we grow. And when you say that, you know, it reminds me of in South America, some of the statues, the ancient statues, have the statue of the guy holding his own head. It's as if you have to lose your head or die to yourself to know who you are. So,
yeah, Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I had the great privilege of meeting on a couple of occasions and spending time with before he left our world, and he was one of my first teachers and mentors. And he said, change your mind, change your life. And I so agree with that our mindset on a limited human tangent has to develop to a mindset on a more spiritual tangent, because the spiritual mindset is a great deal less limited and much more profound in the world of possibility. We've got to keep the dreamers alive. The imagination needs to be wildly crafted within us, and the curious child within us deserves to be alive and well. So I think all of those things are part of the process of, you know, if someone says, well, how do I get rid of the limited mindset that I'm in the world? It's get imaginative, get creative, step out of what you see in front of you as part of your reality, and decide what you want to create as a reality that serves you and humanity in a better way. If we're going to make it up as we go along in this life, we might as well make up something good rather than only make up something not so good. So if there's not so good out there, we better get in and make up something really good. We need to escape what the reality is showing up as and choose our reality by intending it deliberately in a different way. And that is a certain degree of being in the imagination, because everything came from imagination. Airplanes were invented before they were in reality. T-shirts were invented before we were able to wear them. We used to have buildings with no windows. People used to have draft blowing through, and then people came up with an idea of something that was glass that, you know, could actually keep the cold outside. So we invented everything that's in our current reality. For us to create a new reality, we have to keep creating something new. If we go back on what's already been created, even yesterday, it's not new anymore. It's already here. So in order to make something new and different, we have to keep creating a new reality. And that's up to each and every one of us to do.
All right, everyone, get busy. And the key point or the key word is doing that which you love, that which makes us smile, that which makes us happy. How did you make the transition? Because we all know this. We hear it all the time. Live your passion. Go do what you love and do it. How did you personally get there with your teachings for those who question it? What was that like for you? Because there is a level of trust and you were supported.
Yes, I was. I was completely supported by the universe, even when I didn't feel supported by the world. I had businesses where people actually got me kicked out, other businesses, and it's like, oh, okay, let's find somewhere that wants me. And relationships that didn't want me, it's like, oh, okay, let's find some that want me. So I kept being told, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. It was like the little train that could. I was the little train that was sometimes going up a hill and going, I keep going up hills. When am I going to just be able to go wee and ride down the other side of it? And it was about having greater faith beyond the reality that I could see and experience. It was about deciding that outrageous happiness was mine and I could keep working towards it and walking towards it and claiming it until I have to be honest and say, I am outrageously happy in my life right now. Outrageously happy. Is it perfect? I don't know. What is perfect anyway? However, it does make me outrageously happy every day. And there are many, many, many more areas of my life that are truly joyful than there are that are difficult. I am not struggling with anything. Do I have enough money? Yeah, sometimes. Do I have enough vibrance? Yes, I'm working on that, and most of that's up to me. Do I bounce? Do I walk? Do I swim? Do I play? Do I laugh? Do I have fun? Am I happy? Do I love my work? Do I love my community? Yes, 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 yes. So outrageous happiness was, what am I creating on a daily basis that makes me more happy than not? And that is definitely something that we've all got control over.
Yes. Outrageous happiness, right? Outrageous happiness. All right, beautiful. All right, now there are we're going to go to the callers. And there's Christy. Christy, she has a comment in our Q&A box. Can you read someone just from questions that I read to you, or do you prefer for them to be on the phone or the web call?
No, I can do it from questions. Either way.
Okay. Right. All right. So Christy, there's a little bit. Christy is in Arizona and she is putting some comments in, and I want to get to those. Then we'll get to those on the phone. So she is needing some guidance on moving forward into service and purpose. She feels stuck, walking aimlessly, just getting tossed around. Her kids are now grown. Trying to move forward, but she doesn't have clarity on her purpose. She's got interest in healing modalities and been working on clearing energy. She wants to thrive instead of just survive.
Right. Oh, these are wonderful questions. And there's so many of us that can relate to that feeling. And I've been there too. So I don't want her to think that there's some lofty person saying, oh, well, it's, I'm fine and I'm sorry you're not. I've been there too. I've been there in that place where I go, oh God, what do I do next? Where do I go next? And we all hit crossroads in our life, and crossroads are about an amazing opportunity to transfer into change. So here's some of the strategies that I use and suggest with clients in sessions, and I'd love her to adopt these and see what she can do. One of them is, one of the greatest ways to get out of the spinning in our head that makes us feel like we're turning in a hamster wheel and we can never get out. And that's that feeling of feeling stuck, which is not a truth, but it certainly feels like a reality sometimes. So one of the best ways to take the spinning out of our head and turn it into the wheels moving forward in our lives instead of the wheels stuck in mud that feel like they're spinning and not going anywhere is to make a list of let her make a few lists. The first one is make a list of all her skills, her life skills. What has she done in her life that grants her great skills? You know, some people are brilliant at paperwork. Some people are wonderful working with children. When she writes her skill sets, she needs to asterisk or put a little smiley face on the ones that bring her the most joy. Where are her skills that she's already used in life? And where have those skills brought her the most joy? When she brings those together, then she can look at where she can take those skills and the joy that they bring and take them out into the world where she can actually use them in practical and real ways for a business or for work or for jobs or maybe all of the above. Because we are much more than one-dimensional, so she could easily start a little business in one of her skill sets and say, oh, this is really fun. I don't need to make a lot of money in it right now. I just want to create fun and enjoyment, and I love it. And the more I love it, success will follow. And the more success follows, the more I'll love it. And the more I'll love it, the more money I'll make. And you can see that it creates a little chug, chug, chug on the wheels of the train of our life. I feel that she's already got 2 or 3 extraordinary skill sets in different areas, and she can use all of them and run several things. It's like if we throw enough mud against a wall, some of it's going to stick. So she's got some skill sets that she can use, and she takes 3 to 5 of them and tests them out on the world, and 2 of them stick. Bam, she's just given herself an opportunity to move forward. Let me just say, when it comes to the words life purpose, each of us travelled billions of light years to get here to Earth. Well done, you. Every single one of us. Oh, my goodness. Plus, this beautiful Christy in Arizona, she's the only one of her kind in the whole beautiful universe. And what a blessing that we get to have her in our world. And Christy, we love you. We adore you. You are incredible. Do you know how fantastic you are? And that applies to every single one of us. Christy, you're one of a kind. You're unique. You're extraordinary. You're on purpose because you're here. And you brought children into the world, and you've propagated another generation that could propagate another generation. You've got people that you've raised. You've got young people that you've instilled values and life lessons to. Bless you for that. You're exceptional, and you've already made a purpose here. You've already made a dent in the universe. You've already made a difference. Can you do more? Of course, always. Are you important and valuable already? Absolutely. So it's nice that and this applies to everyone. It's just lovely to be able to address Christy, for her to hear that. And I'm sure that there would be some tears in her eyes, some love in her heart, some recognition. We deserve to be seen and heard. Christy, the universe sees you and it hears you and it loves you and it adores you, and it's applauding every step of your life journey. And we're so grateful you're here, and you're worth every minute of being here. And don't underestimate your value just by showing up and breathing in and out every single day.
Great, Christy. All right. So thank you for that. Okay, let's go to our phone line. Now we are going to go to Toronto. Okay, Toronto, cell phone, area code 416. Hi, caller, you're unmuted. What's your name, please?
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi. Hi, it's Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hi. I'm Rody. How are you?
Are you Curly Sue?
A little bit.
I love that. Oh my goodness, you sound like fun already. What's your
I just I've always sort of had this push and pull between. I've worked as a healer. I've also had success in the entertainment business, but I was in a bad car accident years ago, and it sort of put a stop to all of it. And so for years I've been dealing with that, and I'm just sort of, I'm in my second Saturn return, so I'm quite aware, and it's my birthday coming up soon too. So the energy it's really auspicious talking to you both tonight, because the energy is really I can feel it intensifying for me. And I'm really still torn, which, you know, I know I can do healing through the entertainment business, but I've always, you know, had this pull between the two. For many, many years. I was a Reiki master, you know, over 20 years ago, and I've done some other modalities, and I am pretty intuitive, but I also am quite artsy. So I was just maybe seeing about getting some channel guidance on how to deal with all that right now. And also, but also I find I don't have many friends anymore. I have tons of acquaintances. People like me, but it's interesting what you said about people make their family their life, or their world their family. I feel I'm the second one. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just never really had a huge pull towards having this one friend or these, you know, two kids, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's great. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I don't know if it's for me. So those are the two things, I guess, you know, that it's all connected. Anyway.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I feel bubbles around you. I feel bubbly. I feel like I want to pop the champagne cork and let the bubbles come bubbling up. And I also feel that you've already got enormous life experience. I feel like you are an entertainer. I feel that there's some fun. I feel like there's some energy. I see your voice coming through. I can see you doing recordings and comedic skits and laughing at life and bringing people to a more joyful aspect. I feel like you've got joy to share in the world.
Okay.
And I feel like your healing has a voice. And I really want to put a voice in front of your healing and send you out there in a different way. So it's not, I don't feel like you're standing at a table and laying your hands on people. I feel like your voice has got huge healing and comedic qualities to it at this point in your life journey.
Yeah, and I have worked in that area. I've had success as an international singer. I've done improv. I pushed myself finally to do that. I've always been scared to do stand up, but because, you know, if people don't laugh, it's rather uncomfortable, right? But no, but I have always had a pull to both. Yes, I've had some success in both areas, and I've worked as an actor. I've worked behind the camera too. I'm writing a couple of TV, but you're right. It's interesting that was something that maybe I needed to hear, that the hands-on healing I've done, but you're right. I don't talk much when I'm doing that, right? Interesting.
And I feel that you've got this extraordinary, slightly quirky sense of humor. And I'd almost say to you, forget stand-up comedy, do sit-down comedy over the internet with podcasts. And we've got this big worldwide web, and they need to hear from you. And I feel that you've got such a voice and stories and fun and harmony. We're in a slightly disharmonious time where the world is trying to deeply find its legs. You don't need to stand up in front of an audience and get accepted or rejected. You deserve to sit down and just send your stuff out there and let the world listen. I really feel like you've got a voice to be heard. And it's such a powerful context for you, and the stories feel fun and they feel funny. It's like a cartoon that's played out with a voice. I feel like I've got lots of voices to share, and the voices could talk to children and of all ages, and that we need to bring humor into the world. And I feel like you've got a heck of a gift to give.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, and let me just finish with your healing of your body. As you express from your voice, allow yourself to tone with sounds. Sounds have a very distinct healing frequency in the universe, and your body needs to hear your sounds. And those sounds will help to resonate all the way through your spinal column, where you open up your vertebrae with sound and allow the sound to voice through you. The Om sounds and some of the ancient wisdom sounds have been there since time began. I feel like you could use them intentionally on your body as well.
So maybe that's what's holding up the physical healing after the car accident, you mean? Like,
yeah.
Interesting. So you do an Om meditation every day, or what?
Yes. Well, I would take drums and bowls, and I would tone my sounds to the drums and the bowls, and I would make sure that you're making the sounds. You can't just listen to the music or listen to the sounds. You have to make the sounds. And the fact that you've been a singer and you've got this gorgeous resonance and timbre, you need to let your own healing sounds heal you. Healer, heal thyself. I don't think it's ever truer than it is in this moment for you.
Wow. Yeah, because I've always been so concerned about others. You're right. It's my own healing through sounds. Thank you.
Yes, I love that too. Yeah, you'll have to keep us all posted about how you do. Make crazy sounds. Make it so that the sounds end up being laughter. Because the sound, when it turns to laughter and you can laugh in yourself, within yourself, and even at yourself, oh my goodness, the healing in laughter is some of the best medicine that exists.
Well, it's funny you should say this. Last night, I have had a dog. I adopted him. He was abused 3 years ago, but I've been quite withdrawn and soundless in a lot of ways. I live alone in the country, and I'm very isolated in a lot of ways. So I started to do some sounding last night, and my dog was really kind of looking freaked out because he's never really seen that side of me. So it's interesting that we're talking about this today, because I started to do that, and I did some very higher pitched things, and he was very kind of weirded out about it. But it's okay. He'll adjust. You know what I mean?
He will. And maybe he needs that too, because the higher sounds are right up to the crown, and if the dog's experienced abusive behavior that goes right down to the earth, you're lifting his vibration as well.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, ladies. I'm greatly appreciative. Thank you. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Very cool. Yeah, very, very good.
I love Curly Sue.
Well, you know what you were saying about the tones, that's a tool that everyone listening can use. Absolutely. I want to mention that we are going to be doing a Mastery Empowerment course with you, and this is a beautiful way for people to come in and learn more, and of course ask for some psychic guidance. But that really is more on the gifts that you spoke about, and how do we awaken these gifts, right? How do we awaken these gifts, these latent gifts within us? So we're going to be gathering together, and that's a beautiful opportunity for people to learn more about the skills that you present to others in this call. So that's a good heads up, and we'll talk more about that. Let's go to another caller. I'm going over to Phoenix, Arizona. Cell phone, area code 602. Hi, caller. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Luba. I live in Santa Fe, but my phone is still from Phoenix. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for taking my call. I really appreciate that.
A pleasure. Luba, you sound so mothery and nurturing and Mother Earthy. What's your question?
My question is, how do I heal my relationship with my daughter, Natalka?
Okay. So it's really interesting that I can feel you as this Mother Earth. And sometimes what happens is you get somebody really sweet, such as yourself, who's got such an innocent vibration. There's such a childlike sweetness to you. It's so beautiful. And I feel like I actually get the sense that you've given birth to this sort of adult. I feel like I've got a child who was born to be an adult and was rushing into adulthood. How old is your daughter?
40 years. Just turned now in November.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Scorpio.
I feel like I've got somebody who's a bit hard-headed and quite adult and sometimes really challenging, and it feels a bit argumentative and wants to sort of make you less in order to make her more. There's a diminishing quality to how she shows up.
Thank you.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to tell you something about you. Okay, let's put her to one side for a moment. Luba, is that right? Is that your name, Luba?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I love your name.
Thank you.
It's so
Correct.
sweet. Are you Greek or where is your heritage?
I am Ukrainian.
Oh,
and my original name is Lubov. That means love, but everybody calls, when you name that name Lubov, everybody calls you Luba, and that means love.
And I want to tell you, I want you to really hear this in your heart, my beautiful love Mother Earth. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with how you love. There is nothing wrong with who you've shown up as a mother. If your gifts of love and gifts of mothering are not being received, all you can do is love to your best ability. All you can do is show up as you, and you cannot accept when love is rejected and denied you, and when it's not accepted from you. You cannot make it your problem. All you have to do is just love the best you can, and when someone rejects it, like your daughter does, because she's a bit hard-headed and a bit tough, your only job is to say, I love you unconditionally, and it's okay with me if you don't accept my love.
Thank you. And I have a beautiful grandchild, Leo, and I raised him for 4 years. So, and I love him very much too. And my son-in-law also, of course.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with how you're loving, my darling. There's nothing wrong with how you're loving. Some people are born into this world to learn from us, and some people are born into this world to teach us. This daughter of yours is here to learn from you. You embody love. You love greatly. You love fiercely. You love unconditionally. There's nothing wrong with how you love. If she cannot receive your love, those are her limitations, and that's her lesson to learn. And I hope she learns it, because she will never meet, in the whole history of her life here on earth, a mother quite like you. She will never meet another like you. She is so blessed to have you. And if she recognizes that at some point, fabulous. If she doesn't, keep being you. Don't stop being you.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I felt like she's punishing me for something.
Yes, well, don't let her. You don't belong in a boxing ring being beaten up by anybody. So step out, stay in your heart, send her a note saying, I love you, and I'm sorry for whatever you're standing in and experiencing, but please don't make it a problem with me. I don't have a problem with you. Please do not have a problem with me. Let's always return to love. Let's just keep returning to love and just stay in love. There's nothing wrong with you.
Thank you so much. I needed to hear that. So thank you.
I know you did. You're Mother Earth, and you're beautiful. You're beautiful, Luba. You're beautiful. Your name embodies love. Just stand in love and trust that that's who you are.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. Bless you, ladies. Thank you for taking my call again. Thank you.
Pleasure.
It's my day. Thank you.
Luba, we feel your love. Oh, you're right, Ruth, such nurturing love. And the name. God. Oh my gosh, Luba, thank you.
I'll adopt her. My mum passed a couple of years. Luba, I'm officially adopting you as a mother in the atmosphere for me.
Well, I probably could be your mom, because I'm a grandma. I'm already 76, but I'm blessed with a beautiful life and great experiences. What I had the chance to learn and be, it's incredible. Would never dream, would never think. And so I'm really very, very grateful for all my life. So And whatever it's going to be, it's going to be.
Yes.
And Santa Fe is beautiful too. So it's thank you so much again, and blessings to you in this year. You doing such a wonderful job helping everybody and helping each other. That's the most important.
Yes. And remember, you are love, and the world needs your love. And we just need you to be you. And if someone rejects it, that's up to them. Just keep showing up and keep loving and keep being you. And one of the things when we steep hot coals of love on everyone, some people are going to run because it's hot. Your only job is to keep steeping those hot coals of love on everyone. And those that need it will get it. And those that don't or reject it, that's just that they're not in that timing yet. That's all.
Okay. Thank you again. And bless you. The blessings for good health and happiness and joy. Thank you.
Sweet.
Yes, and what a lucky grandson. You have a lucky grandson.
Oh, and I'm lucky too. I'm lucky that sometimes that's why it's so hard to believe. We had such a great 4 years that was in Salt Lake City, Utah, so in the mountains. So beautiful. I'm very grateful for that time. No matter how the things are going now, I'm so grateful that I had that chance to spend with my grandson. He's such a good heart, big heart, and he keeps in touch with me. So he's already 11 years old. Yeah.
Good number. Oh. We know where he gets his heart from. Make no mistake.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
He could be a new pen pal for you. How fun.
Yes. Oh, as long as he's healthy and happy and kind. So that's beautiful.
Yes, kindness matters.
Yes, absolutely. More needed right now.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Luba.
Thank you, Lorraine, for your great work and opportunity for us to do so and get some help. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Ruth.
Yes, blessings. My pleasure. You're gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, my goodness. All right. Thank you. Angela, I saw your hand was up, but you took it down.
False alarm.
Okay. No, she put it back up. So, Angela, we're going to unmute you. Here we go, sister. Hi.
Hey. Hi. Sorry, I got disconnected, so my hand went down.
All right.
The call has been lovely. Thank you. It's always on time. It's interesting how everything is synchronistic with these shows. My question has to do specifically with my path in my career right now. I'm working, but things are going wrong in my day job, like little annoying things like my bag breaks or like things that are noticeable that I feel like are telling me to stop doing this job.
Can I respond, or is there more to this question?
Yes, no, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say to you that there's some sticky energy around you. It feels sticky. It feels like we're getting a little sticky in places instead of allowing a smooth transition towards something different. And I feel the stickiness, like there's some changes that are around you that you need to step into. It's like a growth spurt that you're being asked to do, and there's part of you that's holding back instead of moving into that. And I feel like there's some fear. The stickiness has got some fear to it. Not deep fear, not deep-seated like, oh God, I can't move fear. But it feels sticky. It feels like molasses. It feels like I'm trudging through heavier steps when I can choose a much smoother pathway, a much smoother courseway. And I feel like it's time for change for you. And I feel like the sticky is where you're contemplating change, but not taking action steps towards change. And I actually feel like there's a new version of what you do, or a completely new workplace I just feel like we need to shed what we're doing in the way that we're doing it and create a whole new paradigm of how we're doing things so that we can learn anew. And I feel like the stickiness is about that you've learned how to do what you do and you seem really good at it. And because of that, we're sort of on this treadmill of, well, this is what I do and I'm pretty good at it and I've got used to this and I like it. And I feel like we need to step out and stretch ourselves. That's the feeling that I have, that we need to stretch you now. It's time for you to stretch, and you've gotten a bit too comfortable, and so things are getting sticky because it's the universe's way of going, don't get comfortable, it's time to stretch, let's go. And I really feel that.
Okay, do you have any advice for releasing the sticky?
Yeah, what's your actual, are you in administration? What's your actual work?
Oh my God. Complicated question, but how I get paid right now is through handiwork, construction. I install light fixtures and shelving in kitchens in people's houses.
Okay.
That's one job that I get paid for.
All right, but there's more that you do. That's not the only thing you do. You've got several. Yes. Is there like 3 different streams of income in your pathways?
I used to work photography production. I was a product coordinator for large advertising shoots, and then I do hypnotherapy as well.
Okay. Ooh, multi-talented. Love that. And there's a little witchy in you, and I love her. Okay. I feel that what you're doing with the sticky is because it's not, you sound really serious, and you were someone who was supposed to have more joy in your everyday life. And I feel like you've gotten very serious, and it's about making sure that you cover costs and pay rents and pay, whatever I just feel like it's surrounded by, the sticky feels to me that we're doing things for the wrong reasons for ourselves and that we've lost the joy in it all. It feels very treadmilly. It feels very, not very joyous. It just feels like we're doing what we do. And if someone says, are you happy? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And it's like, wow, did you travel billions of light years to just do an okay life? Or did you travel billions of light years to do that which brings you great joy? So have a look at how your daily life is. The fact that you've got 3 major pathways of existence, it'll be wonderful for you to see which ones bring you the most joy and how you can transform each of them. I don't actually see you giving up any of them. I like 3 pathways. I like there being choices for you and variation. That's the word. I love the variation because otherwise it'd be yawn, let's not get too bored. I feel like you've got a brilliant mind. You've got aptitude for business. You've got aptitude for figures, and you're quite a visionary when you can see things. There's really lovely visions in you, and it'd be nice for you to continue to do that. I feel like you're really clear-headed and have great ideas, and it'd be nice for you to see how you wish to put your clear-headed and great ideas to use. Stick that designer hat on, stick that artist in the field of entry, and even retrain within one or all 3 of those pathways to take your levels, whichever levels most fit you, to a whole other place of excitement and joy, because it feels like you're a bit bored.
Yeah.
Right. And the boredom is what's making the sticky, and it's what's making things fall apart.
Right.
Yeah, you're too bright to be this bored.
Yes.
So our mind is not stimulated. Our heart doesn't feel like it's enjoying. I feel like, and I just want to say, I know this last year hasn't been as enjoyable for anybody. Walking around in masks, so you can hardly breathe in, that you have to keep up over your nose and hide half your face. Getting in public arenas where you're avoiding everybody, there's been lockdowns and not being able to go dance, not being able to go to concerts. We've all been stopped in our tracks from our sweet part of humanity. It's been a tough year this last year. However, self-boredom is righted by what we do within ourselves. We can't blame and should not blame societal measures for internal measures that can be changed within us. So put down a strategy of how you could make everything you do on your 3 working pathways more enjoyable and alleviate the boredom. Have a look at where in your life you haven't felt bored, where you felt engaged, where you felt more happiness, where you felt more excitement, where you felt more curious, where you're learning new things, and then start to implement those opportunities every single day until life starts to take on more meaning. Because I just think you're bored. I really do.
Yeah. Everything I heard, I'm going to take this and I'm going to write about it, because the first thing that came to my mind is like, I just need the opportunity.
Right.
Someone just needs to come and be like, hey, do this project. And be like, okay, here we go. You know?
Right.
So
create the opportunity then. Start to create it. Decide what, so let's imagine it in our wildest imagination, because I want you to know that your brain can't tell the difference between that you imagine into existence and that is in existence. Your brain can't tell the difference. That's the exciting part. So get your brain to make it up as it goes along with wild imagination. So let's imagine that 3 people, because you've got 3 pathways, are bringing you 3 projects. What do the projects look like? What do they feel like? What are you doing within them? How much are you getting paid? What are the people like? And then start to match it in your universe so that you call it in. And if you do 3, one of them's going to show up.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So develop it and create it. What's happening is the boredom is you're sitting there waiting for the world to bring you what you need. And it doesn't always work that way. It'd be really handy if it did. Sometimes you have to go get it.
Yeah. There's like a fine line between initiating too much and then also allowing, like getting too pushy about something and then also allowing to receive. And I think I was like, oh, okay, just stop pushing, just stop doing anything.
Right.
Stand still for a second.
Yeah.
Well, so now I'm hearing that you're saying initiate a little bit.
Well, yes, don't push. Just put the invite out. Just send out an invitation. What you're telling your universe is, I'm not going to push for it, because sometimes if we're not careful, we push for something, and guess what we do? We actually push it away because we're pushing. And so what's the difference between pushing for something and pushing it away from ourselves? And sometimes we're actually doing the pushing away instead of the pushing for. So instead, what happens if we open up our vortexes and go, oh, I want this to come in. I want it to feel like this. I want it to pay that. I want it to feel like this. I want it to look like that. And you get excited. And what happens is you start to create momentum in your mind and in your body. And then the universe hears, oh, she's inviting this in. What, should we bring it? Yeah, let's bring it. She's inviting in. Oh, and she's inviting that one too. Oh, and she's inviting that one. Which one should show up first? and then you go, oh my God, Ruth, I'm not so happy about this because you've helped me make it rain. You've helped me make it rain, and I've got 3 opportunities and I don't know which one. And I go, oh gosh, what a lovely problem to have where you're spoilt for choice. So what happens when you start to invite and invoke? You're not pushing anything away. You're inviting in. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Yeah. Get excited. Get creative. There's a designy person in you. You know, yeah, you're a designer. So design with the universe. Conspire with the universe. Let them conspire on your behalf.
Okay.
Create your conspiracy theory. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
Create my conspiracy. That's so funny. I do think creating paradigms is like part of designing. Designing the world is you have to create a better paradigm.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially for ourselves. So what happens is the happier you are, the more lives you'll be able to touch with that happiness. The more joy you're in, the more joy you'll surround yourself with. The more you invoke and invite, the more the invitations will go out. And if I invited 50 people to a party and only 20 showed up, I'm still having a party. It doesn't matter if all 50 don't come. At least I've put it out there.
Okay. I know how to do this.
Set up your party.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your insight. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Lauren.
You're worth it. You're so worth it. Just remember how worth it you are.
Thank you.
Get excited, Angela. And I think that Ruth was spot on. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, she's good.
Some days I'm good and some days I'm so naughty.
Well, today you're on point.
All right, Angela. Thank you.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, this is amazing. It is very interesting to see how you work, and being the psychic, you just feel something in your own body, and so you can pick up on that. That's really what makes you so psychic. And as you said, that we have this skill within us, and this is really our latent gifts.
Yeah.
We are going to do a Mastery Empowerment course with you. It is a webinar for purchase. It's a beautiful opportunity to spend time with Ruth learning some of these latent gifts that we have. You're going to present tools that we can use to awaken these gifts, but why don't you share a little bit more on what we can experience in that workshop?
Right. Well, so here's the thing. I am such a Capricorn. I'm such an earth sign. So I have my head's in the heavens with the divine, and I've got my feet on the ground with great big Dr. Martin boots, and they're sparkly purple ones, by the way. And so they're sort of fun. And so the big kid in me shows up with excitement and curiosity to help you, each of you, locate what's already inside of you. We're a bunch of beautiful volcanoes with all kinds of fire in our souls, waiting to erupt into the world. And our job is to erupt with enthusiasm, with inspiration, with excitement. I love to help you do that. I just love to help you do that. We each get to make the world a better place because of our own vibration, because of our own frequency. So you'll come in with what you want. You'll tell us what gifts you want to open. It becomes Christmas every day. We just keep opening our gifts. And we find out what we're afraid of, what's holding us back, and let's move that. We find out what we're excited about. We find out where the gifts are starting to bubble and we might not know quite how to open them. So we start to unwrap our senses, our sensibilities, our sensitivities, our talents. All of us have got talents. Some of us are brilliant artists with bookkeeping. Some of us are fabulous artists with painting business in the world. We've all got something on our canvas to create in our world. My job is to help you discover, put the brush of whatever it is in your hand and start to paint the pictures of your life stories in extraordinary ways.
Yes, thank you. All right. And in our class, as we're learning some of those, you'll take calls with those purchased. So come on in and get some more advice, directed advice, I would say, from the beautiful skill that you have. You know, this is really important. I know it's important to you, Ruth, and it's important to me and everyone that I come in contact as well. I've been saying this for so long, that it's this inventory of our life and doing what we love, putting together all of our skills and our talents and really doing that, because that is, for those who say, what is my purpose? The purpose is for you to be in your joy and for you to share what that is. And I think all of us listening are totally on point with our mission of love. We came for love. We are warriors of love. No one will take that from us. Right. So I honor you, Ruth, for empowering people to truly dive deeper into their gifts, to step forward on their path even more in all areas, business or family or relationships. Yes, all of it.
I agree. And I want to leave everybody with this thought. I want the best for you. Please want the best for yourself and all others.
Isn't that beautiful? Yes. And as we look at others, we will see the golden spark of spirits and all that is within them as well.
Yeah.
So, one thing more that I want to mention is there is another item that is it's 10 steps to spiritual freedom. And this is a course that's an immediate download. Tell us what this is, because there's an option to include this wonderful course, very inexpensive, that people can work with immediately. There's 10 little videos in that. Tell us more about that.
Yes, I created this course several years ago when I was living in New England and was up to my eyeballs in snow, actually. So it was really fun to get out there and play in the woods and play in different areas. I found that, like we've got 12-step programs and 10-step programs in our world that's really been very successful to help people heal certain circumstances in their lives. The 10 steps to spiritual freedom is designed for people to take a step a week or take a step a day or take a step over a month. They get to do it in their own time. And the goal is for each step to take people closer and closer individually to that which creates and generates their best. Each step is a profound place of wisdom. There are videos, there's a companion workbook. It's quite an intensive, but fairly quick and very straightforward course of spiritual study with great life balance and strategy, because everything I ever get told and downloaded to teach and channeled to share with the world is really about how do we bring heaven to earth and use ourselves as a conduit of that wisdom, and all of us get to do that. The 10 steps are based on that. How do we get to our own inner freedom? Because freedom is an inside job. And how do we get to stand in our freedom to be ourselves? And the 10 steps help us to stand more fully in the freedom of our own expression and our own truth, regardless of what's going on around us and in our world.
I'll reiterate that, regardless of what's going on in our world. And this is true empowerment, when no matter what goes on, we can feel and sense that freedom. And that's beautiful. And what a beautiful time to do this work. And it's very affordable with the offer here. So there's a second option that it's coming with the Mastery Empowerment course that we're going to do with you. And that too will be recorded if you cannot join us live. So join us, everyone. That is a live class coming up with Ruth Kramer, and that is available on the link on this webpage called Mastery Empowerment Course. We look forward to seeing all of you as this resonates with your heart. Ruth will be excited to see you as well. We'll be doing that on Zoom video. All right. Well, Ruth, thank you for this time today. I know you left us with a beautiful comment, and that may be it, but is there anything else that you'd like to share today?
I love you. I love all of you. And being outrageously happy is not difficult to do. We just have to choose it. We get to choose who we are, how we show up, and who we show up as in every moment. And to share this time with you, Lauren, and all your beautiful audience and listeners and truth seekers and spiritual warriors, what a gift. What a great gift. I'm even more delighted now than I was when we first started. So you just all added to my life, and my goal is to add to yours. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for adding to our lives. We hope that everyone is feeling the bubbliness, as one of our callers was, and know that you have the power to feel that. So thank you all for shining your light and for sharing. And Ruth, this has been lovely. Thank you so much for bringing us the Maui sunshine and love in our call today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ruth. And again, if you would like to join Ruth in an upcoming Mastery Empowerment course, please click the link on this page. And now it is time to dance our way to the cosmic heart. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.